Hey there YouTube, Chaos Cuber here. It's late as usual, gotta keep it down a little bit. Today I have a bunch of different little mini packages to unbox from eBay China. Without further ado, let's get right into them here. Should contain some interesting and possibly vintage puzzles. As you can see, my setup here is a little bit crazy, so it's gonna take a little bit tweaking possibly to get all in frame, all working perfectly. Let me adjust my camera angle there just a little bit. Also have a bunch of things working in tandem, so we'll see how much of it actually lasts through this whole thing. Because I have this box here, and then I actually have another one coming up shortly. So we're going to see how that works out. So basically I'm filming like, I don't know, 5 unboxings tonight of all different stuff. So camera equipment may not last, but either way, hopefully it'll be a good video. And hopefully I'll get to show you a whole bunch of interesting puzzles. So this first box is probably actually the most exciting one out of this. This is just a random cube store in China that's selling on eBay that seemed to have some old stuff still in stock. So I ordered a bunch of it. So let's get into these. Let's just start out with some random one here and just go through them one by one. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this box to the way here so I can get a little bit better second camera angle. And as you can see here, first up, I think we have a ghost hand cube. I'm not 100% sure on that, but if it's not correct here, I'll put it up on the screen. This is a ghost hand textured sticker cube or textured tile cube. As you can see, it just comes in a plastic bag right there. And first impressions, first turns at least, this thing turns very interestingly. It has quite a few catches right out of the box here. But as you can see, the tiles here are kind of plastic and they're very textured and they're all eagles like that. Let's do a quick checkerboard pattern, which that did not work out. That's the problem with catching. So it will fly off your hand if you're not careful. A really light turning style. As you can see, there is checkerboard with that. It's just kind of an oddball thing that I had not seen before, so I decided I wanted to try and pick one of these up. I actually have a couple of them in here. And as you can see from right there, I'm going to have to put up on the screen exactly what company makes these, but I'm assuming that's Ghost Hand, if I remember correctly. So as for turning quality, I think with a little bit of break-in they'd be better, but as you can see it does have some catches from time to time, just kind of sharp edges catching at each other. This is just straight out of the box, so I'm saying they might be better here in the future, but right out of the box turning quality, it's pretty smooth, pretty fast, but it's not very, I don't know what you call it, fluid. It catches quite a bit. Which may be because of the tiles, like right here, or it may be because of something else. But either way, it's an interesting cube, very sandy out of the box, and very good for the collection. That's what most of these cubes are going to be. Not really speed-solving puzzles, but for the collection, and I thought this one was pretty neat. Okay, let's just stay with that theme here. As you can see, we have another one of these here. This is a spider textured puzzle, I believe, and these also in kind of like a primary plastic. As you can see right here, and actually no, this is Dragon. Okay, so they had a spider one. I'm not sure if I got that one or not. This one actually, straight out of the box, has a lot less catching than the other one did. I mean, I probably spoke too soon because I'm having a couple there, but it actually seems a lot more fluid than the other one there. I'll check tensions in a minute. As you can see, center cap came off there. I'm not sure if I'm putting that back in correctly. It looks like I am. But corner cutting, I mean, it's a little bit, nothing significant. Tensions are fairly tight, straight out of the box. And again, just an interesting, kind of odd textured puzzle for the collection. Okay, let's see, what do we have up next? This is actually one I've been very excited for quite a while. If you haven't guessed already, if you can't see from there, this is a Penrose Cube. I know the creator of the Penrose Cube is pretty active on Instagram, and he's commented that I should get one of these a while back. And now I finally got one. I mean, I made a faux version of one of these, like something that was kind of like a Penrose Cube. I basically made it out of like a bunch of Chi Warrior W's. I combined the stickers, I combined the plastic together to make a 3-color cube where the edges are the same color and all that. But this is the true Penrose Cube where it has this really interesting sticker pattern. Just quickly do a checkerboard on there. And as you can see, that's a cube I've been waiting for a while because it's very, very cool. It's also a bit of a challenge to solve just because of the kind of the parity you get if this edge is flipped incorrectly, which definitely happens on this cube like that. I mean, it could be flipped incorrectly and you would never know it, which right now it seems to be flipped correctly. But all in all, this should be an interesting solve. And it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. Okay, so anyway, that's the Penrose Cube. I'll solve that here later. That's pretty funky, and I've been wanting one of those for quite a while. That's really cool to have. As you can see, next up here, I have a slightly vintage 2x2 from Chi. This is the Chi Cavs 2x2. I actually remember this came out, and for some reason I never picked one up, so it'll be interesting to see how this one performs. But, as with a lot of these other puzzles here, it's more for the collection than anything else. just to have a somewhat vintage Chi 2x2. This is actually Chi's second 2x2, I believe. The first one was kind of a Wit Eden or a Wit 2 knockoff. And this one here, I don't know what it is based off of. Ooh, out of the box, that's horrible. Just first impressions there. Out of the box feel, and actually it seems to be breaking loose right now. But the first impression there, oh man, it was all grindy and everything there. So I don't know if this was never turned out of the box or what exactly. But I mean, now that it's actually, I don't know, sort of breaking in just a little bit, it's starting to feel pretty good. Still feels a little bit grindy, which I think might just be some internal flash on the pieces, which is kind of odd for this cube here. Let's quickly check tensions here. Tensions seem pretty tight, all in all. And if we check corner cutting, the corner cuts a little bit. Nothing super significant. So I think this will definitely improve with some setup / lubing. I've heard this is a pretty good 2x2. And just out of the box, I think it has some flash on the pieces because it is very, very grindy and kind of stuck together. And I think that's actually getting better as I sort of just move it here for the first little while. That is a Chi Cavs 2x2. Let's just keep this moving along here. Next up, we have an Eastsheen 2x2. As you can see, Eastsheen is a very, very old brand for different cubes, and I've been wanting one of these for quite a while. It'd be cool to get one in black plastic eventually, but as you can see, I was just able to get one in white plastic right here. So let's try and get right, kind of working and get my lighting set up here right so I don't get a lot of shadows, but hopefully that all works out. Let's just get into this box right here, and as you can see, here it is. So if I know correctly, this was one of the first 2x2s after the Rubik's 2x2 to come out, and it was pretty good. A lot of people switch to these for their main, and I can see exactly why. I mean, it has a very, very fast and swooshy feel when it does turn correctly like it is right there. And also it has kind of a, I don't know, it's just a really, it has a nice feel to it. I'm not sure if it's tensionable or not, which I'd assume it might not be. Yeah, so that's why you have the problems kind of with catching and corner cutting, because there is no corner cutting. But all in all, this thing turns very, very fast and very smooth. Which when this came out, which I don't remember when it came out, 2003. I'll put a date up on the screen there if I can remember correctly. But this came out a long time ago, and for what it is quite a good 2x2. Very fast one. And it's also the standard 50mm size that most are today. So a very good cube for the collection. Just wanted to pick one of these up, and there it is, the Eastsheen 2x2. Okay, next up here is just kind of an oddball puzzle. This is a Eastsheen Master Morphics. I actually had never heard of this puzzle before. I'm not sure if I just missed its release or what exactly. I'm not sure what it's based on, but I'm really into Master Morphics. So when I saw this was there, I was like, okay, I'll pick one of those up just to try it out. It's kind of odd, the color scheme there. It has a pink side, yellow, green, and blue. But let's just give this thing first turns. And first turns, it seems to be a pretty good one. The interesting thing is, size-wise, I think this actually fits between the Moyu Cubing Classroom and the Chi. The Chi is actually quite a bit larger than most Master Morphics on the market, which is why I really like that one. That's why that one's my main. This one here actually seems to be between those two. There doesn't seem to have any flooring holes or anything there, so you're not going to get a ton of corner cutting. You can test that right now. Get a bit of corner cutting, actually. Yeah, it's actually pretty good corner cutting. I'm not sure about the tensions on this, so you actually almost get 45-degree corner cutting. Okay, well, I'm curious what mechanism's in this thing now. I can pull a piece out of there. As you can see, it's kind of that Guhong-esque mechanism, V-Cube-esque mechanism that they use for a lot of their, I don't know, mirror blocks puzzles and similar things to that. So it's not a bad mechanism in here. I mean, it's definitely outdated by speed cubing standards, but it's pretty good. And I'd say that between the Chi, the Moyu, and this one, I'd say this one's second, just after the Chi. It actually is a pretty good one. I'm pretty impressed by that. Okay, next up here might be the spider one. So I guess I got the full set of Ghost Hand textured tiled 3x3s. I'm not sure if I really needed the full set, but I thought they were pretty cool, so I decided to pick them up. As you can see, this one has spiders on it. And actually, out of the box, this one is a bit faster even than the other ones there. It must be on a little bit looser tensions. And yes, that is for sure. Let's check corner cutting on this one. Not quite 45 degrees. And as you can see with the older mechanism there, it definitely does not like trying to corner cut 45 degrees either. You will pop pieces on these looser tensions. But if I'm a little bit more careful with it, you can get just past line to line corner cutting and probably no reverse corner cutting. But it's the same as all those other ones there. It has kind of these interesting tiles. It's a little bit lightweight and it turns fairly well. With a little bit of break-in, it would have a lot less catching than it does straight out of the box. More for the collection than anything else. Okay, so next up here, I have some cube bags. I don't know exactly what are in these bags here, but let me just pull these all out of the box so I can move the box out of the way here. and then we'll see exactly what is in the bags. Okay, so let's start with the first one here. If I had to guess, I'd say these might be a ghost hand 2x2 through 4x4, or 2x2 through 3x3. Maybe I'm wrong with that. Or 2x2 through 4x4. I don't know exactly. Actually, maybe these are Sheng Shao. I really don't know. Top of my head. Anyway, this is some sort of 2x2. It came in that nice cube bag there. And it feels pretty smooth for what it is. It definitely has springs in there. But it really, I mean, it's definitely a older design 2x2. Doesn't have much for corner cutting, and it's very, very squared off. I'm not sure exactly which one this is. I'll put it up on the screen when I looked up eventually, but probably a Sheng Shao. If I had to guess, it might be a ghost hand 2x2, just because they had some that are very similar to that too. They were very similar to the Sheng Shao. Next up here, let's check this one here. And this one here, actually, you know what? This is a ghost hand mirror blocks. I remember this one. This is actually an interesting ghost hand puzzle that they had available there. This is a ghost hand mirror blocks. I'm assuming it's very similar to the Sheng Shao, and first turns definitely tell me that it is, but from the listing and everything else, this definitely seems to be a ghost hand mirror blocks. I don't think the actual mechanism is going to be much different, so it's going to be kind of hard to differentiate this in my collections. I don't know exactly if it was a great buy or not from that aspect. As you can see, it has the exact same mechanism as like a Sheng Shao mirror blocks, so it's interesting they mark it as like a ghost hand. I'm curious if it is actually Sheng Shao, or if there's any way to tell that's a little bit older and ghost hand. But anyway, it's another mirror blocks, and if it is actually ghost hand mirror blocks, it is a pretty cool one for the collection. Which of those other ghost hand puzzles I got were any indicator? It seems to be, because those are the same bags that those came in. So next up, let's see what this last puzzle is here, and this seems to be, yes, a ghost hand 4x4, or maybe even an early Sheng Shao 4x4. That might be it with the matte stickers on there. I wanted one of these. This was actually like my first 4x4 I got at the flea market a long time ago, and I just wanted to try one again. I mean, they're no good as far as like speed solving 4x4s go. Actually, this one's not bad. It's sort of based on like an Eastsheen 4x4 in design, I assume, but with the matte stickers and everything, it's kind of interesting. Turning is actually pretty good. It's pretty smooth, and I'm not sure if it'll pop, but it has a very basic mechanism, so probably not. First one turned really well, and then I actually tried to get one to replace it, and that one turned really bad. So this is definitely the good old Sheng Shao that I used to know. And as you can see, tensions are a bit on the loose side, where I'd keep this one probably just because it's an older puzzle, and for corner cutting, it does corner cut a little bit, as you can see, like right there. So this is either like a Sheng Shao V1 or V2 4x4, I'd have to guess. Okay, so that's about it for that first box. Let's bring another one up here and keep on going. We got to get through these here in a fairly reasonable amount of time. Okay, well, I'm just going to try and cover my address on that with a hand, and then I'm just going to try to cut it open and get into it here. I didn't have time to Sharpie out all the addresses on there. That does take time, and the Sharpie fumes and all that are kind of annoying. So let's just get right into this one here. And as you can see, we have a bubble package there. I actually do not know which cubes are in here, but I guess we'll see very shortly exactly which ones they are. Very, very well packed in this bubble pack thing. And I can sort of see the outline now. Okay, well, these are really interesting, actually. Look at that. This is a Moyu Dianma. This is one I've been wanting for a while. And then this one here is actually a YJ Sulong in glow-in-the-dark plastic. So I'm not sure why I got in glow-in-the-dark, but let's quickly get into this one here. I'll look up to see if I actually did get in glow-in-the-dark or if they just messed it up. I don't know. Either way, this is a sort of vintage YJ puzzle. They made quite a few different versions here. They made the Sulong, the Yulong, a bunch of other ones there. And I really have not had one of these in a while. I had a bunch of these like way back when I first started cubing. I got a lot with a bunch of these kind of things in them, and I just want to get these again for the collection. I have a Yulong, and I have a couple other versions like that. And wow, out of the box, this thing is very, very nice to turn. It's obviously a budget cube, but compared to like the Guanlong or something, this thing is a way, way better mechanism. And all in all, I mean, it doesn't corner cut 45, and it doesn't reverse cut that much on the out-of-the-box tensions, which are, I don't know, fairly on the tight side, maybe right here. No, not a lot of reverse corner cutting. Almost 45. Normal cutting, though. And this is, all in all, a very good budget puzzle from years past. Just wanted a YJ Sulong for my collection, and here one is, interestingly enough, in glow-in-the-dark plastic. And next up here, this is one I've been wanting for a while. Actually, a few different variations of this thing coming, in these coming unboxings, and possibly in this one, I'm not sure exactly. This is a Moyu Dianma. It's a flop for Moyu, as far as I've heard, and it's a really odd cube. If you haven't seen one of these before, this may look very odd to you, but this is the Dianma. Oh man, this thing has a really weird look to it. So let's quickly get out of the plastic here and get right into it. This thing basically had unproportional sides here. I believe it's a 57mm cube, but the centerpiece is just comically small. And wow, that thing feels so strange. Okay, well that's really, really weird. I actually almost want to do like an average of 100 on this thing just to try it out. It doesn't turn too bad. I mean, I'm actually not knocking the turning on this thing because I mean, it corner cuts 60 and it reverse cuts. It won't reverse cut line to line, but it reverse cuts pretty well for what it is. So I can imagine why people didn't like this cube, because I mean, how are you going to get used to that little centerpiece there? But I think the larger outer pieces isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. It's a really weird cube from a gone era. I remember when this came out, like 2013 or something. I mean, this one is supposed to compete with like the Moyu Weilong, Aolong, all that. And then it came out looking like this. Everybody was like, what the heck is that? And of course, you look at the pieces. And those pieces are so strange. Wow. Okay, that looks almost traditional. But then you look at the edge pieces here. That is really, really weird. And it looks like the torpedo of the piece that I pulled out here has come off. So I'm going to have to fish that out of there. But first impressions, first turns, I'm actually very surprised at how well this thing turns for the wrap that it's got. It must just be the unconventional look and size of this thing that really gave it that bad rap. But I'll definitely do some solves on this. I'll post that on my Instagram, and I'll see exactly how it performs. It's a really interesting cube, and I'm very glad to have one of these, at least one of them, for the collection. I have a couple more coming, I think in black, and a couple other colors, potentially. But I'm very interested in this cube just in general, and it is very, very, very weird. Definitely suggest picking one of these up while you still can, if you're a cube collector and want to have one of these for your collection. Let's just quickly try super flip on this one. Kind of weird to do it through the camera here. And there you go. Let's get right in focus there. There is super flip on the Moyu Dianma. A very odd cube, to be sure. Okay, well let's see. I guess that's about it in that box. So let's go on to the next one here. Have quite a few more packages to go. Again, I'm going to have to do the address cover thing. It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of how it has to work. Because I don't want to be giving away my address on these boxes. But I don't really want to have to take the time to sharpie them out. So I'm just going to put it about that angle. And cut right into this here. These are true unboxings. I have not opened these cubes yet, but I do want to cover my address here for privacy reasons. Okay, let's get right into this. This looks like it's going to be kind of a slide out, a rip away design. So let's get that outer box off of there and let's get these out of here. And as you can see, very nice from the seller. Good luck for you and your family. It's kind of funny when they include those in the boxes from China. As you can see in here, we have a GAN 357 Air Ultimate, or a GAN 357 Ultimate. I'm not sure if there's an Air on there. And also a Moyu Weilong GTS, the first model, not the new one, with primary caps under there. That's really cool, actually. Okay, so let's get into the GAN first here. I'm really interested to try this one out because it's a 57mm GAN 3x3, and I've not had one of these before, the GAN 357s. Box is a little bit roached, and as you can see, it comes with this tensioning tool there, which I thought this might be the standard version, not the 356 or 357 Ultimate, because the 357 Ultimate comes with a metal tensioning tool, so I might have got a standard one as well as the Ultimate, which may be in another box. But let's get right into this one here and take a look at it. Let's quickly check the core here, because that's how you can tell if it's an Ultimate or not. And I think it does have a metal cord on there, so I'm not entirely sure exactly if this is an Ultimate or not. I'll put it up on the screen if I can figure that out. But as you can see, this is actually, might not be a GAN 357 at all. This is a GAN 356S. Okay, I just looked at the box, and I figured that out, and wow, the turning on this is super, super nice. The GAN puzzles before the Air variations, where they're a little bit heavier, actually, they have a really nice feel to them. I really like the smooth feel of that. That's why I think I'm going to like the GAN 357. But wow, out of the box, super, super buttery smooth. Wow, corner cutting's pretty good. It's not quite full. I think the tensions are a little bit tight on that side there. It's not quite full corner cutting, but it'll reverse cut like line to line, maybe even a little bit better. And it'll definitely corner cut right at 45 or just a little bit better there, maybe 50 degrees. Wow, first impressions on that cube. It's a little bit older cube, but this thing turns really smoothly. I actually really like that. That's cool. So that's more for the collection than anything else, but it really does turn pretty well. GAN 356S. Okay, and next up here, we have the Weilong GTS with that kind of phantom design, which I'm not sure what exactly you call that, but it's just the Weilong GTS with the primary caps underneath the plastic there. Let me see if I can figure out how to get into this package. It's very similar to something like the Moju M3 in design. I'm Pretty sure those are cube breaking tools on the top and bottom. But let's just pull this out of here and get right into it. Hopefully my camera's going to hang together for these next couple unboxings I'm going to try to do tonight. I might have to charge it up and come back to it or whatever. So, pardon if like it only has one camera angle or whatever, that might be how it is. But I guess these are probably breaking tools you put on top and bottom, and you can kind of like just, I don't know, be rough with it and break it in or something. I don't see the necessity of those, but they're kind of cool. And first impressions on the Weilong GTS out of the box. Wow, again, very, very nice cube. Full corner cutting on this one. And I really do like this cube more than the Weilong GTS 2. I think it's a bit bigger size. I think it's exactly 1 millimeter larger than the GTS 2. And it's so much more controllable. That cube is so uncontrollable out of the box. So give me one of these any day over a normal GTS 2. It's not even that unstable compared to that one there. That one is very, very unstable. So I really like this cube, as you can hear. And I have not had enough of these yet. This is actually my first one that I've had straight out of the box. I had one in my previous lot there that I unboxed, and this is my first one that I can actually take straight out of the box and try out. It's a little bit older cube, just a little bit, but I say this thing still has a place among some of the better cubes. It really has quite a nice feel to it. Like I said, full corner cutting tensions out of the box are pretty good, and the black with primary is pretty cool, or at least black with white, it looks like. They're not primary, but still really cool. Okay, last box I think I have right here, and then I'll have to go grab a couple more. This is just eBay stuff, and then I actually have some from cube stores online that I purchased, Z-Cube and iCubeMart. But we're already at almost 24 minutes total recording with this video, so I guess I need to keep speeding this one along. I'll be set my camera here in a minute, and this must be the GAN 357 Ultimate. I'm a bit tired and I was a little bit sick. Yeah, I was a little bit sick earlier this morning, so pardon any speaking, I don't know, flaws or anything in this video, but as you can see, this is a GAN 357, and this is one I've been wanting to try for quite a while. It seems to be the nylon version there. It doesn't seem to be the Ultimate, but let's open it up here, and there's what tells you it's the Ultimate. The metal tool, and it's supposed to have a metal core. It doesn't have this old nylon core. I'll probably get a standard GAN 357 sometime, or I might have one coming. I don't actually remember. But here is the GAN 357 Ultimate with the metal core. It's a little bit larger than the GAN 356, and a lot of people use this as their main for a while. A lot of people use this for their main a while ago. And there it is. Wow, it's really weird having a GAN cube that's 57 millimeters. And has such a different feel from any GAN cube I've ever felt. That's really interesting, actually. A lot different sound, too. Wow, full corner cutting, straight out of the box. Let me get a sound sample here. It feels very solid, but it has a really interesting sound compared to like a normal GAN cube. I really like this cube, and I'm definitely going to be trying this in like an average or 100 or something, just to kind of see how it competes with modern speed cubes. Even though it's a little bit older, I think it competes pretty well. Just comparing the sound to like the GAN 356S, it has such a different sound to that. Wow. Now, I really like the sound of that cube, and I like the feel of it in general. I mean, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's not really flimsy, but it's a little bit like the opposite of flimsy. No, it's not that exactly. I mean, it's not quite as flexible as most GAN puzzles, which I think is due to the metal core. A lot of complaints were saying that it's too flexible, and I guess they're fixing with that. So, really interesting feel, and I really like that cube, the GAN 357 Ultimate. Okay, not sure exactly what this one is here, but this is one other small one that I had sitting aside. I'm going to go check if there's any more after that. But let's just cut right into this and see what we have here. I think this is a Ghost Hand Magic, or a different, no, never mind. Okay, completely different than I thought. This is a translucent blue Maru Mini 3x3. I thought this was pretty cool, and decided to pick one up. I have not actually tried the Maru Mini 3x3 before. But let's just zoom in there so you can get a little bit closer look. As you can see, there it is. It's got first turns, and it turns actually fairly well. I'm curious to know what mechanism this has. Is it like a CX3, or what exactly? Let's see if I can carefully take a piece out there. As you can see, it's a Rubik's brand mechanism. Something very similar to a Rubik's brand. It's very, very solid. It's kind of like the gas-assisted 3x3s in solidity. It's a lot heavier than most mini 3x3s. And actually, it turns very well. I mean, it turns like old Cube Few or something, but it almost turns like the gas-assisted one because it's almost that heavy. I mean, it's very heavily built compared to some of those there. It's going to be pretty durable as a mini cube. And, I mean, it's not the fastest on the market, but for a 30mm mini cube, that one there is actually pretty nice. I'm impressed. Bought mostly for the collection. Okay, so it looks like we have one more here. Let's get this into the shot here, and let's open this one up and see exactly what it is. Ooh, this is actually really cool. This is from Hungary, and this is a reproduction, or I would say a homage, original Rubik's brand cube. This is actually really neat because it comes in the original type packaging rather than the newer type packaging that I showed you in the previous video, another reissue. So these are being sold all over eBay right now, and these are the Rubik Studio Hungarian Rubik's Cubes. And this one here is really, really cool. As you can see, it has the original logo right on there, and it comes in this kind of neat box. It's obviously modern, but it's a really neat reissue of one of those, and they're sold out of Hungary, so that's kind of cool too. I guess you lift that flap there, then after that you lift this flap, and then that flap, and then that flap, and then this cube should come right out of here. Let's test compared to my other reissue Rubik's Cube and see how good this one is. And this one, as from first impressions here, I can tell you this is a much more faithful representation of the original Rubik's Cube. The other reissue I got there, which came in the newer packaging from this one, had quite a bit different, I don't know, feel to it than this one does. It does have a different color scheme. As you can see, it has a standard color scheme rather than the Japanese color scheme. But otherwise, this one here is pretty good. It doesn't turn very well out of the box, but neither did most of those cubes. And it doesn't have that weird like center thing. It doesn't almost feel like a speed cube like the other one did that I unboxed. You can go check that out if you want to see a better comparison there. But as you can see, inside it has a very original looking mechanism. And it has a white core on the inside there. That's kind of interesting. And all in all, I guess that is what it is. It is a Rubik's reissue cube. Very good for the collection, and will be interesting to put next to a original Hungary Rubik's Cube once I finally get one of those, which I have not bought yet, but eventually I'll probably buy one of those. The original, like 1980 Hungary only ones. Okay, well here's a quick overview of everything that I picked up there. Quite a few different interesting cubes today. Thank you as always for watching this quick little thing unboxing of cubes from eBay. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm just buying more and more vintage puzzles like that. Hopefully the stream will stop soon. A couple more unboxings and that'll be about it. So anyway, like I said, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed. Check out my Instagram at @chaos_cuber for all different types of cube photography, early access stuff, and all that linked below, or at least I'll take it below in the description. Also, like I said, leave any comments, questions, anything you may have. That's about it. Chaos Cuber out. Goodbye.